between Egypt and Madagascar. We are joined over the phone by Ambassador Raouf Saad, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tell me more about the significance of the visit of the Madagascar official visit to Egypt, and it's in this particular time.
Well, I think if you want to appreciate the importance of this visit, we have to look at it from both sides, the bilateral and the African side. In other words, that for the bilateral, it's an opening or a kind of reopening of relationship between Madagascar and Egypt in order to tap on the available opportunities for strengthening cooperation between the two countries. No matter how small or big the African country, but it is a country which has opportunities as well as have requirements. And I believe that in order to see how important it is, you have to look at it from the larger framework of the African-Egyptian relationship. And I believe that starting to 2019, since 2019 when President Sisi assumed the chairmanship of the EU, the African Union, from there on, Egypt has started or adopted a strategic approach towards Africa that is based on the following. One, that although that we have very successful projects and activities in a number of African countries, but still at that time we lacked the overall approach, the more strategic approach. And since then, I think Egypt was following this trajectory of expanding, deepening, extending cooperation, which is with the African countries based on two factors. One is the comparative advantages of the areas where Egypt has versus or in order to meet what the African countries need. And in fact, the African countries are in a process of development where they need experience, expertise in so many areas. And Egypt has this a lot of comparative advantages of areas you want in pharmaceuticals, in agriculture, in industry, in IT, in communications, and so many, in energy, climate change, environment. I mean, we have a wealth of experiences, successful experiments, and practices in this area.
Yes.
So this has been to be bold on this. It was late rather, because Africa is going through a very important time, and under circumstances where the African continent is on the surface could be seen as a very poor continent. Why? Under the surface, it's the richest continent in the world, and so many players are playing there, either the old or the new ones. And Egypt is has a advantage point as an African, a big brother, and a long history and geoeconomics and geopolitics that link between Egypt and the countries.
Absolutely, yes. Well, sir, can I ask you something concerning the African Union? In what ways can the two countries work together to advance from the African Union's Agenda 2063?
This is exactly where we are talking. I mean, we are not separate from the 2063. This is a very strategic and long-term strategy for the African countries, and we have many conventions and agreements that link between the 5 areas of Africa.
Yes.
But what you need is a clarity of vision. You need the will, you need the power, and you need a kind of leadership. And I believe that Egypt could be among the strongest leaders in steering cooperation, in integrity, in dignity, and in mutual interest.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Raouf Saad. Thank you so much for your insight and for joining us. And by this, we thank you, the former Assistant Foreign Minister, for joining us. By this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the Voices of the Continent. I am Saad Talawi. Please stay tuned for more to come on Nile TV International.